Florida has anywhere between 230 and 250 sunny days a year. So it's no surprise with that amount of solar resource, the state is also home to a booming solar industry. Let's talk about some of those incentives for Florida homeowners that are driving that solar adoption. Now, first of all, as far as federal incentive goes, there is the federal solar tax credit, which is a 30% credit towards one's income taxes when you do install solar. So it'll be 30% of the overall project cost that you can claim against your taxes. Now, that is a non-refundable credit, means it's not a direct rebate or anything to you. It can't exceed the amount of money that you owe in taxes. So it's not going to directly increase your refund, but could definitely decrease how much you owe. And so if you already paid more, you could get a larger refund from it. Now, the U.S. House of Representatives and U.S. Senate did just release their versions of the One Big Beautiful Bill that are looking to repeal that solar tax credit that the Inflation Reduction Act put into place at 30% through 2032. This could happen as soon as the end of 2025 or potentially sooner, depending on which version, either the House or the Senate, gets their bill to be the one that everybody agrees on. So stay tuned, because there may be updates on that, and that credit may not be available for much longer. Additionally, though, in tax incentives, there's also the Modified Cost Recovery System, and that's MACRS. This is IRS Section 179 depreciation. Qualified commercial systems can depreciate their asset of the solar over a 5-year period as opposed to a longer-term depreciation, and then take tax credits based on that depreciation. Again, that is only for commercial systems. Now, solar equipment is tax exempt in Florida, and it has been since 1997. So Florida has really led the way in that solar adoption with those tax credit exemptions. Florida as a whole has a state sales tax at 6%. So this would mean that a person purchasing a $30,000 solar system saves $1,800 on the sales tax that would not be applied otherwise to their system. So that could be a definite great benefit. There's also property tax abatements that Florida homeowners can get. So we do know from recent studies that solar will increase the property value for anywhere from 5 to 10%, assuming that the homeowner owns that solar system. Now, with that, that means that an average Florida home could see massive increases in the amount of value that their house has. But because of this property tax exemption, they don't actually have to pay any additional property taxes due to the extra value that solar brings to their home. Now, the city of Boynton Beach, which is a little bit north of Miami on the state's east coast, offers a Energy Edge rebate program for solar and other energy efficiency upgrades like HVAC, insulation, windows and doors, etc. Now, this credit can give homeowners a one-time credit of $1,500 toward their solar system as a rebate, assuming that the system is at least 5 kilowatts in size, is installed with a certified contractor, and the panels are at least 17.5% efficient. City of Dundon offers a solar rebate program as well, and that city is located on the state's west coast near Tampa, and they can give up to $2,500 rebate for anybody who goes to install solar. Specifically, this program is set at 25 cents per watt. So a 10,000 watt system or a 10 kW would get the full $2,500, and it would scale down from there depending on the size of the system. That credit is a first come, first served basis, and every year they allocate funds to it. So depending on when you try to go and claim it, there may not be any funds available, but you may be able to claim them in that next year. Now, there really aren't many other local incentives as far as rebates go for people who are going solar in Florida, but a really unique incentive that Florida has a ton of compared to other states that I've looked at are financing options available. So a lot of different cities and counties and even utilities offer financing options and low interest to no interest loans for members who take service in their area or live in the town or are part of that electric utility. And they can give you these loans so that you can purchase those energy efficiency upgrades. Sometimes they can be large loans like purchasing solar, and there's also some that offer small loans just for HVAC or water heaters or something like that. Now, I'll keep an entire list of the ones that I can find of a whole bunch of places that offer these loan options down there in the video description. But some areas in Florida also offer PACE financing, which is a little bit worth talking about further. PACE financing, or Property Assessed Clean Energy, is a form of financing where you can actually finance the cost of your solar system onto your property taxes for your area. So your solar and the loan for it would be tied to the property as opposed to you specifically. This can be a really helpful way to finance for solar homeowners because instead of having to maybe output money up front or have an upfront cost and a monthly payment tied to you, what PACE financing would do would be tie that monthly payment to your property taxes. So instead of having another loan you pay for, you're paying for that additional inside your property taxes. Can be a really great way for people to go solar and to tie that to their property and use it with their home. Net metering is a solar incentive where homeowners who send energy back out to the grid get a credit at varying different rates depending on where they live and the utility they take their service from. In Florida, net metering is actually a really great benefit for solar homeowners. Back in 2008, Florida Public Utilities Commission set rules for net metering where investor-owned utilities have to give solar homeowners a 1-for-1 credit, meaning if you send 10 kilowatt hours back out to the grid, you get a credit for 10 kilowatt hours. This is a great way for solar homeowners to be able to make sure they utilize the full value of all the energy they produce, whether or not they install energy storage. Now, municipal utilities and electric cooperatives are not included in that. So if you do happen to be a homeowner who is taking service through those, you may not have full retail rate net metering, but make sure you check with your utility provider to see what the options are for you. Now, the future of solar in Florida is still going to be bright. We may be losing some tax credits into the future. We will see what happens with the Senate and the One Big Beautiful Bill and what that ends up being. But even without tax credits, solar still has a great value proposition. It's a low-cost, really scalable and resilient form of energy. And solar homeowners in Florida have an amazing solar resource they can take advantage of for that low-cost energy for their home. Not to mention, the rise of battery storage in Florida is huge because in the face of growing natural disasters, homeowners need that resilient power they could potentially have in the case that there's larger blackouts in the grid. So expect solar in Florida to continue to rise into the future. Thanks for watching so much. You can learn more about Solar Insure, our SI30 warranties, and SolarDetect from the links in the video description. And catch us in the next video.